Hey community, how are you? Jenenne, Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. And I just wanted to hop on with some Thursday tips and truth. They're tips, but it's the truth as well. Excuse me, my allergies are in full blown. So where are we? It's Thursday. We've been in lockdown. They say for 10 to 12 days, but it seems like it just really took effect in last week, given that people were at the beach a couple of weeks ago and somebody sent a picture to me that they were at a club 2 weeks ago. I think we're finally getting what's happening. Okay, so the biggest thing that seems to have passed, although it's questionable, the slush fund is questionable, but money is going to be sent to, I guess, all of us in the stimulus package. And the whole reason why they're sending that is they want to give us money to go spend, to go shopping, because they're concerned about the economy. So that's all well and good. What we're also pissed about, though, is there's like so many billions of dollars that's being set aside that the person in charge can just use whenever he wants, however he wants, which is ridiculous. It's like we had to give him $500 million, $1,000 so he would give money to everyone else. Nonetheless, that's what it's for. So right now, in this moment, I want you to notice where you are. I want to notice how you're feeling. I want you to notice what's going on with your family. Okay? Because this is a stimulus package, and it's for the essentials. It's not for the, let me feel good. It's not for, ooh, let me get something special because we haven't had it. This is for what's essential to you and your family surviving. This is particularly of value to those people who did not have a savings when this hit, or did not have an emergency fund when this all hit. What I want you to do now, in all of your frustration, or maybe even feeling uncomfortable with what's going on, write a list right now. What does your family need? Not want, what would be cute, but what do they need to survive for 2 weeks? 2 weeks. When you go to the store, you're supposed to shop for 2 weeks. What do they need? Now, this is a pretty view. I'm going to show this of the Rose Bowl. When I talk about need, I'm talking about what will sustain your family, what will keep them nutritionally healthy. It may not be all the extra stuff, but what will keep them, that's the Rose Bowl. I don't know if you can see the little rose over there. What will keep them healthy? That's what we're looking at. So we're talking about essentials. I usually define words so people understand, but that's what's necessary. So we've heard enough. We know toilet paper is necessary. I don't know if you need tissues. I don't know if you need hand wipes. Clorox wipes are necessary. Okay, so you can wipe down everything. Then what's going to be necessary is food. An essential amount of food that will sustain you and your family. And what you want to think about is casseroles. You want to think about dishes that last. My son and I are quite picky and very similar, and it's just the two of us. But for those of you who have 3 to 5 people in your home, you will have to be strategic. So that my tip is to do casseroles. The truth is, women, you're the ones who are primarily in charge of these homes. You're the one that's deciding what kids are eating, what your husbands or wives or girlfriends or boyfriends are eating, who's cooking the food, who's buying the food, who's paying the bill. It's usually, and most often than not, women. I know men, sometimes you do it as well. So that's just the truth. So now I need you to take a strategic position and write down what your family needs as an essential. Not what you want, what you think will be cute. Those Jimmy Dean breakfast patties that they have, so many for so many dollars, that's not cute. That's not cost effective. It may be simple to pop in a microwave, okay, and the kids got that, but they'll be hungry again in 2 or 3 hours. So what's going to keep your family fed and keep you guys safe? So I'm saying casseroles. I remember having a tuna casserole with macaroni or something growing up. Couldn't stand it. Pots of spaghetti would be great. I know Super King and what is that store we have over there? Oh, Food for Less. I saw one gentleman with a huge bag of rice. He had pinto beans and red beans. I knew clearly. I said, you getting prepared? He said, yeah, I've got 3 kids at home. So he already knew. So you're looking at buying large items with this money. It may be $1,200, it may be $600, it may be $25. So because you may have to also pay bills, you want to allow this money to stretch so that your family is fed and that you can take care of your bills. So right now, before the money comes, I want you to essentially look at your house, look at your family, look at how you set things up. What meals are crucial and what meals will sustain you so that once you cook it, you can put it in the freezer. I fixed chili beans the other day and we both ate them up and they were gone. I thought, well, that didn't make sense. So I fixed chili beans again and had some to put in the freezer when I was finished. I have another dish that I fixed for him that he enjoys, that's rice and mushroom soup and chicken soup with onions and chicken thighs, and I put it in the casserole. This time when I fixed the casserole, I fixed enough to put in the freezer because I'm used to fixing just enough for a couple of days and we usually eat it. But now I'm looking at making sure there's food in my freezer so I don't have to cook every day. I did a big pot of chili beans. Chili beans. Fix that in a huge pot, put it in the freezer. So when I get ready to fix it later, all I do is pull them out, unthaw them, and drop them on top of some rice. This is what we're talking about. This is the new reset. It's a resetting of how we live our lives and what we do. I mean, think about it. So many parents are so used to getting up, I was too, taking your kids somewhere, dropping them off, and then going to work. You really were not around your kids that much. You're gone for 8 hours, and everybody comes back home for a few hours, and then you go to bed. Maybe 3 hours or 4 hours, and you go to bed. So things have changed now. Your children are home with you every day, all day long. And in some families, they're happy to see you. They want to be around you. They enjoy your company because they actually missed you. And some kids are really kind of nervous still about what's going on. So be mindful. You're the one that's got to run this household. You're the one that's got to set up the new rules and the new guidelines. My son gets up a little bit later than he normally does. I wanted him to stay on the school schedule. I thought, get up at 7, get ready for 8 because your classes start online at 8:30. But I had to let go of that because what was important to me was what was the end result. And the end result was that he was there and prepared for class when it started. Whether he got up at 7, 7:30, 7:45, or 8 o'clock, long as he was there in front of that computer at 8, I said, okay, fine. So I let that go. So be willing to see where you can have some compromise, some wiggle room by asking yourself, what is the end result that I want? With your children, what is the end result that you want? My child sits in his robe from 8:30 in the morning till 4 doing schoolwork because his schoolwork has to be turned in online by 4. If it's not, he doesn't get credit for attendance or for his classwork. Do I bother him? Not anymore. I used to be like, well, can't you put on your clothes? You have your casual sweats. Just put on your clothes to hang around the house. He gets up and he leaves his bedroom, comes to the living room. Used to drive me crazy, but okay, fine. Keeps that robe on. And he works the whole time. So I had to ask myself, what is the end result that I wanted? I wanted to do his work. Once his work is done, then I'm like, okay, don't you want to do your driver's training? So then he shifts over to that. I've began to focus on the things that I know that he wants to do to keep him motivated to get them done. So you'll have to be as creative with your children. You'll have to spend more time with them probably than you have in a long time and see what works for them. But I can tell you now, you may find that you cannot do the same schedule that you've always done, that you will have to shift your schedule around to accommodate the changes in your home. And that's why I say this is a reset. You want to pivot, not panic. It's a reset. It's a reset in my home. I mean, he goes to bed at 11. No, I want him to bed at 10, but 11 works as long as he gets up in the morning, has his breakfast, and is ready to do school, and he completes his school every day. That's the shift I made. I want to encourage each of you to know that as the head of your household, not that you're figuratively head of your household because you're the breadwinner, but because you keep it organized, whether it's 2 of you or 5 of you or 7 of you, this is where you get to step up and come up with strategies to navigate your family. Set up time for kids to play, for you guys to do games together, pull out the checkers if you have it. If you have Monopoly, this is the time to play. Let the little ones build their forts in the living room. And if you're anything like me, don't get nervous because they're building stuff in the living room and they're not cleaning it up afterwards. It's okay. We're going to be in this for a lot longer. I'm not sure why the person in charge thinks we're going to be done for Easter. We just got our butts in on lockdown, and we're still not all on lockdown because some people are still working. So how are we going to go back to work and go back to anything on Easter? We don't know how many people are carrying the virus. It felt good to go to the store today with plastic gloves. I knew any food I touched, if the ATM I touched, any handles I touched, they were covered and protected by the gloves. But heck, I just got gloves. So I cannot see how we're going to do anything by Easter. And I understand they want to stimulate the economy, which is why they're doing the stimulus package. But please, baby girl and baby boy, don't go out there and spend all that money in one lump sum and figure, okay, I'm done. No, I'm telling you, map out your essentials. 2 weeks. What do you need for 2 weeks with your family? And then put that money aside. And then 2 more weeks later, if you have to go again, put that money aside. Any place where you can take $10 or $20 to pay on a bill in good faith, do that. Anytime that you can put another $10 or $20 on your credit card, do that. Call your credit card companies and negotiate with them. Say that I have been laid off. I cannot go to work. I'm in the lockdown. And you'll have to accept the fact that I don't have any savings, but you won't say that to them. And I need to know what support and help I can get. And then you negotiate. If I give you $10, or if they say, okay, you get this month free, then keep that money. Do not spend that money. If you don't already have alcohol in your house, don't spend that money to go buy alcohol to drink now. You will need that because the government's not going to give any more money. And I don't care what they say, we don't know when you will go back to work. So that's what I want you to think about right now before the money comes. Because quiet as it's kept, that's what you do when your taxes is coming. You pay your taxes. Ooh, I'm going to get $800 back. And I know what I'm going to do with it. So you already spend that money before you get it. So I don't see why what I'm saying is so different. I'm just saying to be so strategic and so on point and so clear that this may be the only money you get from the government. So you want to buy in such a way that could take care of and maintain your family until you're able to do it the way you're used to doing it. And I have to say, what will it take for you going forward to start savings? I don't care. I always say, I don't care if it's $10 a week, if it's $5, but that $5 and $10 would be fine right now because it would go a long way. So those are just my tips. Give the kids some flexibility. They want to be around you. They haven't been around you. Set up a structure, maybe even a new schedule. When the stimulus money comes, already have your essential list created already. Don't wait for the money to come and say, oh, I thought it'd be $1,200. Oh, it's $25, so I'm going to go do this. No, please do not waste the money when it comes. There will be no more, knowing our government. So if you come on here later, please put on your hashtag replay. Let me know what state you're in. Let me know what you're struggling with or what your frustrations are. Any point that I can help you and encourage you, I'd love to be able to do that. In the meantime, take good care. Stay safe. If you can get some plastic gloves, that's great when you're going out shopping. And before I got those, you know what I would do? I would just go in the store and pull the plastic bags that you put the food in. I would just grab one of those and turn it inside out and put that on my hand. And that's what I would use to shop with. When you bring your items home, please wipe off everything before you put it in your refrigerator. Wipe off anything that someone else might have touched. Yes, wipe it off before you put it in your refrigerator. Take good care. Hang in there. I keep saying, get yourself some comic relief. Turn on some comedy, sitting there looking at those soap operas and lost in those soap operas. Remember, those people are working and those people have gotten paid. If you have a dream, if you have a goal or something you want to do that, like me, you used to say, I can't do it because I have to work. Well, this is your time. You don't have to work right now. You could use this time in these next 3 weeks to create something that could make up for all the money that you feel like you've lost or the money you didn't have, be it a book, be it a program, be it a product or something that you never know could bring in some income. And this would be the time that you would have created it. Wouldn't that be amazing? So just a few Thursday tips and truths. Take good care. Hang in there. Peace and blessings to you. And prayers to each and every one of you. Whoever hears this under the sound of my voice, simply know that I see you surrounded with amazing, wonderful light and love. That there's a peace that enfolds each of you in spite of what may have you somewhat nervous. To know that you will be okay, that you are being divinely guided and cared for. There is somebody who's breathing your breath. There's some presence that's beating your heart, that continues to allow fruits to show up in our store, that continues to allow toilet paper to show up, that continues to allow answers to come to us, that continues to allow many of us to keep breathing and enjoy life, even though it's a bit different. Know that I hold each of you in my heart. I say a prayer for each of you and all of us on this planet, because it is a global impact, that we will be safe, we will be fine. We are safe, we are fine, and we are all wrapped up in the incredible love of that infinite power that I call God, life, in the universe. Peace to you.